with Ollie the chef.
Today we're going to cook something incredible. Guys, I've never made bread in my life, and this is focaccia, our own version of focaccia. I'm extremely excited, and looking at these ingredients seems very easy, is it?
This is super easy. This is probably the easiest bread you're ever going to make. We can knock it up in about 5 minutes, leave it overnight to prove, then we're going to put it into a tray, let it prove again, put it in the oven, and then the only thing left to do is to eat it.
Can't wait.
Should we go?
I'm ready, chef.
Should we do it?
Yes,
right.
please.
Okay. Everybody's got clean hands because we're working directly with our hands in the food. So we've got strong flour. The first thing we start with is strong flour. Water.
Ooh.
I'm going to put a teaspoon of yeast in the water, a teaspoon of sugar in the water. Then we're going to put a nice glug of olive oil. There's about 30 ml of olive oil in there.
Okay.
And then we just need to get ourselves a fork to mix that up. The sugar is going to help the yeast activate.
And we can find this flour in normal supermarket, strong flour.
You can now. A month ago there was no flour available anywhere, but now it's coming back and you can start making your own bread. It's getting easier and easier to find strong flour because more people are doing it.
So do I have to make the hole in the middle that the people say?
Yes. No, all we do with this one is we put it in.
And now I'm going to try to get a spoon?
No, just mix it in with your hand.
Oh,
Come
right.
on, this is bread, it's hands-on.
Okay, so
That's
is there some way?
Like, there's no technique as long as it's mixed in.
And of course I'm wearing black.
Yeah.
Fabi, come on. Oh, it's very sticky, right? And it's normal to be
sticky at the moment.
So I don't have to leave this mixture to, overnight or 15 minutes or whatever.
Overnight.
No, I mean the yeast.
No, the yeast, because it's dried yeast.
Okay.
So we know dried yeast does have a life on it, but if you buy yeast fairly regularly, and you use it within its use-by date, then dried yeast is probably a bit more reliable than fresh yeast.
Right.
Fresh yeast is great, but especially if you don't bake that often, your dried yeast is going to be good because it's always in the cupboard. You keep it in a cool, dark place and make sure that it's always within its date.
This is good to get the kids to mix this around.
I think.
Is it okay like that?
Yep, that looks good to me.
So look guys, now it's not sticky anymore. See my hand, this one is clean.
Brilliant.
So can you see? That's what we need, that's what we want?
Absolutely.
It's just that?
Yep. Because what we're going to do now, we're going to cover that. We're going to leave that overnight.
Okay.
We're not in a specially warm place.
Where should I keep? Just in my kitchen?
I will leave it just on the side in the kitchen.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is as it rises overnight, the proteins in the flour, the gluten, is going to develop, and you're going to be left with.
We have one ready.
As you can see, that bowl is.
So my hands are already like this. Should I clean it? Should I just leave it because I'm going to?
Just give them a rinse.
Wow.
And that's what we end up with the next day.
My hands.
It's just a little bit sticky onto the cling film there. So what we need to do to finish it off, we're going to get some more of this delicious olive oil.
I'll need a towel here, chef.
Pour that in there.
And
spread it around
mixing.
with the hands again. Hands very important in bread making. That's why whenever you see a baker, they've got huge, strong hands.
Should I put on the sides as well?
Yep, we're going to do that. Okay, then the next step is, we're not going to use all of this today because I made a slightly large batch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that up for you.
Should I get the little plastic? Because I will.
No, we don't need to do anything with it. We are literally good to go.
So, guys, it's so stretchy.
Yeah.
Look.
And that is the no-knead recipe. So you don't have to mess about kneading it. You just have to mix it together. So there you go. I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that to make some rolls when I get home.
Okay.
And you just pop that in there. Don't mix it up too much.
Should I just put it in the middle like this?
Put it in the middle, yeah.
I'm so excited with this, guys.
Squash it. Stretch it out with your fingers so it goes as close to the edge as possible.
Okay. And the tray, I'm using quite a big tray here.
Yeah, because this is going to rise quite a lot, so you don't need to. It's going to be a nice flat loaf of bread. Open it up as much as you can.
It's very elastic.
It is very elastic. It will go eventually. And don't be afraid to get your fingers stuck right in there and stretch it right out.
The kids will love to do this, guys. I think it's
Also,
so funny.
what we're going to do is chuck a little bit of olive oil on top.
And then
And then what you can do is put your fingers in and squash it.
just feel nice, guys.
That's it. You squash that out and you see how it goes to the edge when you
I
stick your fingers in it. And that's going to give us that lovely focaccia texture. Right, there we go.
Satisfying. This is so satisfying. It's like a Play-Doh, but nicer.
Grown-up Play-Doh, the best kind.
Grown-up Play-Doh.
So now your traditional way of doing focaccia is that we're going to serve it with some rock salt.
Ooh.
As you can see that there. And some rosemary that we've just got out of the garden. It's the freshest rosemary you'll ever see. Throw as much of that as you like on top. But I also like to put some different flavours on it. Now you can put peppers, onions, sun-dried tomatoes, pretty much anything you like that's nice and savoury.
Can I put olives?
Olives are great, but what we've got here is some grated parmesan. That's 30-month parmesan there, but you can use anything you like.
And chili.
A few flaked chilies to go on top. And as you can see, we can't tilt it because it's going to slip everywhere because of all that delicious olive oil. But that is all it takes to get your focaccia ready. Now we're probably only about 5 minutes in at the moment, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that to one side. We're just going to put it over the oven here, and it's just going to rise a bit.
How long, Chef?
Until it comes to about double the size. So that's going to take maybe half an hour to an hour.
Okay.
And then we'll cut back to that when we put it in the oven, and then we'll show it coming out.
Can I use fresh chilies?
Fresh chilies are good. They'll caramelise on top. They'll almost burn, but fresh chilies are fantastic. The sky's the limit on this one. Peppers, onions, you can put capers on it. Any cheese you want. Try different cheeses. See how it comes out. Try cheddar, try something a bit softer, see what happens. But you can really do anything you like. If you like it, chuck it on top of your focaccia.
Lovely, I can't wait. So we'll come back soon to show you how it looks like and how it tastes.
Absolutely. See you later. So this bread's been proving now for about 3/4 of an hour in a nice warm place. We covered it with cling film, and as you can see, it's risen quite a lot. And the way we're going to tell whether it's ready to put in the oven is just dab it with our finger. You just poke your finger in like that, and you can see that it's still springing back. It's just springing back a bit. While it's springing back right to the top, it's not ready. When you put your finger in like that and your finger stays in, that means it's ready to go in the oven. And that's going to go in the oven at about 200 degrees until the top is nice and brown and crispy. That's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes. So that's how you test to see if your bread's ready. That applies to focaccia, normal bread, bread rolls, any bread that involves normal flour. It's the gluten not springing back. And as you can see, not sprung back. So we're going to put that in the oven. So the bread's been in the oven now at 200 degrees for about 25 minutes. So let's see how it is. That doesn't look too bad to me. Certainly looks cooked.
Looks beautiful.
So what we're going to do is going to bring this over here. Normally what I would do is let this cool down for a while.
Let me just put it in here.
Before I attempt to take it out of the mould. But there we go. Because I've got chef hands, we can just do that. And if you look at the bottom there, you can see that's soaked up all the olive oil. And you've got these lovely holes that give it a really nice open structure.
Yes.
And what we're going to do, who wants to cut? Fabi,
I do. Me and Smelly. It's like chefy, doesn't it, when you do that? So what do I do? Do I just cut it in half?
Cut it in half and then we can open it up and see what's going on.
Ooh. Guys, they're so crunchy.
And there you can see when we open it.
Unbelievable.
Should leave it to cool down a bit first, but you can see this nice open pore structure. That's because we left it to prove nicely, and as it proves, the yeast does its work and puts lots of nice gas into it.
I need to try it hot.
Try it hot.
I need to.
Now obviously this is better when it cools down a bit, because when you have just cooked bread, it's still very moist and it's quite difficult to cut. But there you go.
Amazing. Do I dip in olive oil or some vinegar?
You can definitely do that.
You
But the
don't
great
need
thing
that,
about
guys.
this is it's got so much olive oil already in it that you've got your flavors here on top, rosemary here, chilies and parmesan here. You can do whatever you want with it, but it is great dipped in olive oil. And it's great tomorrow when it's a day old. It makes a great sandwich. Cut it this way, cut it horizontally, stick loads of stuff in there, and then you can cut it into individual pieces and you've got a nice, big, thick, juicy sandwich for everybody.
This is amazing.
And then the day after that, makes great toast.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Fabi, you're definitely turning into a home cooking genius.
Yes, I am. Thanks to you. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Hit the button like there, like our videos, and
subscribe to our channel and you can get all of our recipes as they come, and you can learn to be your own home cooking genius.
yes, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.